My name is Sonya Harwood-Johnson. I am from Grimes, Iowa, and I am the director of the Gorgas House Museum here. I've always loved museums ever since I was a little kid. When I went to my undergraduate university, I got an internship working at a historic house that they have there at their campus. Historic homes really became a passion for me of not only preserving the history that's inside of them, but of making them this engaging space, especially at a university, that college students can do research in or engage with or really gain skills to be able to work in museum fields. Every exhibit that's up is a student project, so getting to see them become a lot more confident in the work that they're doing is one of the best parts. So I always like to highlight that while we are a historic house museum, we're a museum in the middle of a university, and we really need to take advantage of that, whether that's by using student internships or allowing some of the historical pieces that we have that are functional to be able to be used by students. So a couple different ways that we do that is we have our 1875 Haynes grand piano, which was fully restored a couple years ago, and so the piano is available anytime the museum's open for students to use. And so whether they're a master at piano and we love listening to them play, or I have a couple students who are teaching themselves how to play, and this is the only piano they have access to. That is also how the piano was used, and I think it's just a wonderful way to continue to express that. We also have the sewing machine, which was fully restored as well. And so now if students are working on a historical fashion design or pieces, they're welcome to come in, talk with me, and utilize that to learn more about what sewing techniques looked like in the past on the sewing machine that people would have used as well. And so by having people come in, play the piano, utilize different pieces, that's really what the house was meant to be historically. Collaboration just has such a huge place in my heart. Working with the Jemison Mansion and Historic Tuscaloosa specifically, I think is so cool because when the Gorgases lived here, they would have known the people that lived in the Jemison Mansion, whether it was the Vandegraffs, the Jemisons, the Hargroves, those sorts of things. And so interacting with them, I think is another aspect of that immersive experience. Going between those two houses is how those families would have done to go to dinner at each other's house or engage with them. They were friends in that sort of capacity, which I think is so cool. Telling the story of the Gorgas family through their objects or through other objects in the house has been such a fascinating thing. My favorite object, it's any of our music instruments. One of our future project goals is to work specifically with sound, to hear the words of the woman who, this was her chair, this is a photograph of her, this is where she sat, this is where she walked. I feel like being an immersive experience takes you back and really helps you better understand what life was like for the people who lived in this house and just feel the presence of those people even more in this space. The house was never quiet. The room we are in right now used to be the hospital for students on campus. And so what would that have sounded like at the time? Downstairs was the dining hall, so you would hear a fireplace always going, the clicking clacking of forks on plates, people talking. The post office, the idea of shuffling papers, of letters. The porch as well is open 24/7, 365 days a year. Even if the museum's closed, students are welcome to sit out on the porch in the rocking chairs, really just engage with the space.
Okay, I'll leave. Here we go.
We have our music group. Old Time Music Group is their official title. And it's a mix of professors, instructors, our director of university museums, he comes and plays as well. At least one student, if not a couple students that play. And so listening to them, it's just so human, you know? The way that they do it and engage with it in art and that capacity is so much fun. It's one of those other things that just brings so much life to the house that I love kind of standing outside and watching as people walk by, like what's going on, and trying to get a little bit closer to see. And we just love having them be a staple part of the Gorgas House Museum. I always say, because this is a house, I want to make it a home for students on campus. It's one of my big goals to make almost all of the house be and act in that sort of way as tools that students can use, either to feel more at home or to engage with the work that they do. I just love having students in the museum as much as possible and have it be their home away from home.